It is most regrettable that ethics legislation is needed, and I think it is apparent that in many respects it is beyond the ability of mere legislation to create. Nevertheless, to the extent that the matter can be legislated, we must do so, and it must be a tough and definite statement of the demand by the people that there be a return to morality in state government. We need to simplify our penal code. To simplify it, reduce it from 1,600 sections to 250. And I think we need a section aimed at stolen property, aimed at fences at habitual criminals who deal in stolen goods. We need to make the evidence of prior offenses of concealing stolen property admissible on the issue of guilty knowledge or intent. We need to allow the joinder of offenses. This work would benefit to both parties. It would help clear the docket and allow the prisoner to receive only one sentence by eliminating the stacking of sentences. But the main thrust of this would be speedier adjudication of the crime. I support the capital punishment provision in certain cases, including the murder of policemen when they're lawfully carrying out their duties.
In his address to the joint session, Governor Briscoe also endorsed bills already proposed which would create a broad-based commission to begin revising the state constitution. He proposed a complete revision of the drug laws, but not yet, said, is he ready to reduce marijuana possession penalties. He also talked of major changes in education, putting emphasis on job-related studies. He promised greater efficiency in operation of state government, including cutting waste and improving planning. And he suggested creation of a single agency to handle environmental matters. The legislators present indicated that they were receptive to the proposals made by their new governor today, but now comes the task of getting these put into proper legislative form and actually getting them passed into law. This is Roger McDonald, Channel 8 News on the Move at the state capitol in Austin.
Ray just finished speaking to the convention.
Lord, have mercy on her. Christ, have mercy on her. Lord, have mercy on her. Life lives in me. We are going to the time and in heaven. Hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come.
One story, one set of facts, or should pay equal rates for equal service, regardless of which company serves that. Have attempted to be as concise as possible, yet cover all significant points, taking a little over an hour. The very are not adequate. It is ultimately the customer who does not have the service he wants. And
quarterback Darryl LaMonica. From the Pittsburgh Steelers, defensive tackle Mean Joe Green.
Made a statement about Bobby Lane, and this is the man he closely resembles in many respects. It's an easy ball to catch, but you have the option of catching either end of it. You're stealing all my lines. Are you looking forward to the Pro Bowl? Why do you say that? I remember what that little guy on the beach felt like when the big guy keeps saying it. You say, well, so-and-so is a man that walks like a bear. And when you say Dick Butkus, you say he's a bear that walks like a man. Can you believe how hard up they are in Miami? That's their glamour boy. Broadcasting, because as long as you're around, there's a job for me.
I'm really looking forward to it, playing with a great bunch of guys. You know, it's really going to be great playing in the same backfield with OJ.
One of your boyhood heroes?
Yes, he was.
Hey, man.
Yes, he was.
You going to give me that? You think you can teach a young rookie like this anything about the game of football?
Hey, I will be watching him, see if he can show me something I can incorporate in my game.
He didn't do too badly this year, did he?
Oh, he did real well. He did put 100 and something against us, and I saw him up close in Buffalo, so he did a great job all year.
Actually,
believe me, you know, like that's from watching OJ while he was on television and while I was in high school and my first year.
Hey, man, you don't keep giving me this. Actually, you had a pretty good year yourself. What about the future for Buffalo and for O.J. Simpson?
Well, we did have a good year. We only won 4 games, but we went into the fourth quarter and 5 other games leading. And when you consider we lost 13 offensive linemen during the course of the season, we had a new coach, learning a new system. Well, we think that coming back next year with the injured guys back, that we should have a real fine football team.
Well, like last year, I had a lot of problems with the passing game, but this year I improved upon that, just by working on it in the off season. So right now I just think it's a matter of improving everything, and not working on anything too hard like I had to do last year.
Are you excited about playing in the Pro Bowl game?
Oh, yeah, it's a good game to play. You get out here and you see a lot of ball players you play against that you don't really see, get to know. And this is a good game to get to know the guys in the league, and it's a good experience.
Being one of the younger players in the National Football League, I'm sure that there are a lot of ball players who will be in this game that you've seen for years and years, not only in the ballpark but on television.
Oh, right, yeah. A lot of the ball players, like Dick Buckus and Rafer Wright and Mel Renfro and Cornell. I've seen them when I was in high school, and not to date these guys or anything, but it is a funny experience, playing with them, especially last year. This is my second time around, and last year was really, it really fell off, and being out here playing with these guys that I've read and looked at on TV so many years.
But you find that they're only human after you get out on the field and line up against them, don't you?
Right. Everybody bleeds.
No, I never get confused, because last year I ran forward and center, and we just about run the same plays this year. I always watch what the guards doing. I just had a little problems, adapting to the guard position.
I would say you're about 6'8" and 230 pounds. You'd have to be, when you're playing guard, one of the biggest guards in pro basketball.
Yeah, it affects me on defense, trying to defense the guards. I can play with them on the offensive end of the court, but Carlos Jones will probably defense the guards, because with me at guard, it creates a lot of problems for the defensive team because, I can post down low and do so many things out front with the ball, and they don't want to put a small guard out there, and most teams forwards are, too slow to stay with me, so, I'm creating a lot of problems.
Do you prefer playing forward?
I prefer playing forward than guard or center.
You don't seem to give up anything on defense either. You're probably one of the more aggressive ball players in the game.
Well, I try to be aggressive, but sometimes I get a little too aggressive and they start, the thing is, I can't get away with a lot of things yet, that other forwards get away with in the league. I just like to play aggressive. I play better when I play aggressive.
Some officials of Braniff International were rather surprised at the number of people on the Washington flight at 8:30 this morning. But then we found that among them were a great number of Republicans who are attending the inauguration and who have official invitations. Hi, what is your name?
Ruth Levitt Davis.
And where are you from?
Texarkana.
Very good. Now, you're going to the inauguration. You have the official invitation
Yes,
from the
do.
President's office. There has been a great deal of talk about demonstrations on Saturday. What are you looking forward to?
I think it'll be a mild one. I don't think that there'll be too much. I hope not.
Y'all have a nice trip.
Thank you.
You bet. At Dallas Love Field, watching the Republicans leave for Washington, D.C., this is Jim Mitchell, Channel 8 News on the Move. Sir?
What do you do if you're a Democrat?
You don't get to cut rate.
Not only will the eyes of Texas be upon the Bryan Adams High School band and drill team, but also the eyes of the President and the nation. The band had its final practice this morning before preparing to embark for President Nixon's inauguration Saturday. The band will be leaving tomorrow night and has exceeded its $38,000 goal to finance the trip. I talked to Assistant Drum Major Pat Norris, who told me he was going to see some of the sights before coming home.
We're real excited. We've been anticipating this performance for a long time, and we're glad of going, and we hope to do a good job down there. We hope to see a lot of good things and just have a real good time.
What is it that you've most wanted to see?
Most want to see?
The White House?
Oh, just about everything. The White House, the museums down there, just about everything.
An official tour of Washington has been arranged for the band and drill team by Dallas Congressman Alan Stillman. I asked some of the members about the cold weather in Washington. They said they've already thought of that and have packed insulated underwear and long johns. For Channel 8 News on the Move, this is June Gray.
I think that the minorities will start to come forward more. And I love to see all of the different not denominations, but the different races come together in one convention like this. I think that's the way it should be, because we're all brothers in Christ. And I feel that the Latin American churches will start advancing for Christ and doing more. And this Key 73 is the kickoff thing this year. And what we assembled here for was to try to evangelize, if you want to say that, the pastors. And then the pastors go home and excite the lay people.
Nobody knows who she was or how she came to die in a Dallas motel last November. But the Cortez Funeral Home thinks Mrs. Rodriguez has waited long enough to be buried. So today they're giving her a funeral free of charge. Two months ago, funeral director Al Cortez was turned down by the county medical examiner's office when he offered to bury Mrs. Rodriguez. Agents said they wanted time to locate her relatives. But the fact is, Dallas funeral homes always provided this kind of free burial when they operated the ambulance service for the city. Now that the city has taken over ambulance service, nobody is really responsible for burying paupers and unidentified dead. Not until the county commissioners approve a new burial procedure for them. Martha McIntyre, Channel 8 News on the Move.
Texas legislators and citizens got a strong dose today of what new Governor Dolph Briscoe Jr. intends to do. In a forceful message to a joint session here in the House of Representatives, Governor Briscoe made it clear that priorities will be on ethics and anti-crime legislation. Governor Briscoe also talked about a complete revision of drug laws, but said he's not yet ready to reduce marijuana possession penalties. He talked of major changes in education, primarily putting emphasis on job-related studies. And he promised greater efficiency in the operation of state government by cutting waste and improving planning.
Lone Star is continuing to work with the Federal Mediation and Conciliation Service to resolve this particular matter. Be assured in the meantime that operation of the utility properties in Fort Worth and servicing of Fort Worth customers are being handled by employees who are continuing to work in spite of the strike, and also by supervisory personnel.
In the Senate, there was a struggle over the leadership positions here. Lieutenant Governor Will Hobby proposed rules which would continue to give him the authority to appoint members of Senate committees and designate the chairman of those committees. The principal challenge to that authority was led by Dallas Senator Oscar Mauzy, who feels the Senate members should designate committee members and committee chairmen.
Less than 15 years defending his appeal.
A position.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the grand finale of the Grand March. His Excellency the Governor of the State of Texas, the Honorable Dolph Briscoe, Mrs. Briscoe. His Excellency the Lieutenant Governor of the State of Texas, the Honorable William P. Hobby and Mrs. Hobby. Miss Dave Briscoe, Miss Phil Briscoe, Mr. Paul Hobby, Miss Paul Hobby, Mr. Andrew Hobby, Miss Kate Hobby, Senator Oscar Mosley, and Speaker Class Daniel Jr. The Attorney General of Texas, John Hill, the Comptroller of Public Accounts, Robert S. Calvert, State Treasurer Jesse James, the Commissioner of the General Land Office, Bob Armstrong, the Commissioner of Agriculture, John C. White, the Chairman of the Railroad Commission, Jim Langton, Member of the Railroad Commission, Ben Ramsey, and Myron Tuttle. Chief Justice John Greenhill, Associate Justice Phil C. Walker, Associate Justice Jack Pope, Associate Justice Sam McGee, Associate Justice James G. Denton, Associate Justice Class Daniel, Associate Justice Sam Johnson, and Sally Judge John.
Hello.